Welcome, everyone. I'm Tracy Fitzpatrick, and I'll be your moderator today. Thank you so much for joining us here at Netcom Learning, a market leader in promoting lifelong learning, training, and talent development solutions. We are very excited to host today's event, Microsoft Agentic Web Masterclass, Lead the Future with AI Agents. Presenting today's topic is Gino Joseph. Gino is a Microsoft certified trainer with over 8 years of experience in the technical field. Gino's expertise is in Microsoft Azure, Power Platform, and data science technologies. He has successfully delivered numerous corporate trainings to date and consulting assignments for various clients across the globe. Please bear in mind that this is an overview of a very robust topic. We offer a collection of technical and business courses that can be tailored to your specific requirements. If you are interested in a further discussion, you can make an appointment with our learning consultants through our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session is also being recorded, so you'll get free access to the recording in the next 24 hours via email. Netcom Learning helps customers build innovative learning organizations by achieving a smarter workforce, adapting to change, and driving growth. We do this with a broad catalog of offerings, developing customized learning plans, and our global delivery capabilities. Since 1998, we have been empowering organizations with our managed learning services to help them reach optimal performance results and address challenges. We do have 9 practice areas in which we specialize. They encompass people, process, and technology training. Today's presentation is from the Data and AI practice area. Netcom Learning offers a comprehensive training portfolio of courses for the topic being covered today. Our upcoming classes include various trainings on the given courses. You can also access a variety of marketing assets, such as the free training and blogs, by clicking on the available event handout. These offerings can be found with a simple search on our website at netcomlearning.com. Today's session will explore how to unlock the full potential to design and deploy intelligent AI agents that transform the way organizations work and explore how to harness the power of Microsoft's Agentic Web. In this practical and forward-looking masterclass, you'll discover how to build autonomous, goal-based agents with Microsoft Copilot, Azure AI, and Power Platform. Learn how to integrate these agents seamlessly into Microsoft 365, Teams, and external platforms, unlocking new levels of productivity and decision-making. Gain real-world insights, strategies, and use cases that will help you lead the future of AI adoption and drive innovation across your business. In addition, participants will get guidance on effectively preparing for the MS 4014 certification course and exam in today's session. And now I would like to give you a quick overview of the logistics before we get started. To begin with, you do have the option to view in full screen by clicking on the full screen button on the right side of the GoToWebinar viewer. Simply hit the escape key to exit the full screen. Everyone has been muted except for our presenters. Feel free to submit any questions you have for the presenters here in the questions pane, and we will address them at the end of the session. And to get the best out of today's events, we've included the slides, courses we talk about, and marketing assets in the handout section of your GoToWebinar viewer. You may refer to them at any time to get a better understanding of today's topic. And we do realize that some of you may have to leave early and want to let you know that as you do leave the session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to take a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience and improve our future sessions for you. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. And now I'd like to pass this over to our trainer to present today's topic. Hey, Gino, thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Thank you very much, Tracy. Um, very warm welcome to one and all on this masterclass where we will be going through the prospects of understanding AI agents, all right, the way the future holds in terms of Microsoft Agentic Web Assets. Let me do a quick introduction about myself again before we deep dive into the content. All right. Myself, Gino Joseph. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I come with almost, say, 8+ years of experience into the domain of training. And here in Netcom, I work in the capacity of a technical trainer dealing with Microsoft line of products. Again, my expertise lies in the area of artificial intelligence, and I do deliver C courses along some data professional roles, like for data sciences, for data engineering, and maybe other, say, tools like Power Platform, generative AI, the AI-based courses definitely to be dealt with. So greatly excited for you all. I am going to be taking you what can be possibly, say, igniting towards making you understand, say, the functionalities or maybe, say, the prospects with respect to agentic solutions on that of Microsoft to go with. Let me take you quickly through the agenda part. All right, meanwhile, as I'm taking you through the content, or maybe say, focus on definitely on the content part for sure. So I'll keep my cameras disabled. And yes, so that you can focus on the content part and definitely reap the benefits as we go along the line. So let's make it valuable, folks, on this learning. All right, and what of the time that we have towards to make this very much fruitful. Right. So this is what the agenda looks like. What I'm going to be discussing. Okay, in terms of understanding, say, what or maybe say introducing AI agents, and of course the agentic web in the sense, again, making you understand now, most of you would be having some questions, concerns. Okay, what is that differentiating factor when it comes to maybe a bot, maybe a virtual assistant? Like some jargons are very interchangeably used, okay, when it comes to, say, agents, bots, and so and so. So we will talk about Microsoft AI agents, all right, and we will understand about the whole range of agentic products or maybe all solutions that Microsoft makes it possible for you to create these intelligent solutions to go with. And that's where you will see, are we going to dig deeper into all of them? Not all, but definitely in the time that is there in front of us. We'll try to introduce some possibilities here. I'm going to talk about, say, on that of making you understand what are these autonomous agents, all right? Also, agents that are very much based. Again, are we going to be? There are going to be a bunch of tools that could have been discussed. We'll focus that with respect to the Copilot Studio and that of Azure AI Foundry, okay, where you're going to build these agents as such. And then, of course, the possibilities that does exist in terms of working with respect to these agents once being created, um, again, developed, uh, publishing it onto the right channel, or maybe say those avenues from where we should be able to access these agents for your stakeholders, maybe for your internal team members as such. And that's where, say, we will look into, say, understanding what are those platforms, maybe your Teams, maybe your M365, or maybe external platforms to be considered. And in case if you're wondering, maybe say understanding what are the various use cases, or maybe some scenarios that we can consider across certain industries, definitely towards that last part, we will understand some, and we'll be discussing all. No, but definitely say to give you a very quick preview, maybe a glimpse of the possibilities that agentic solutions exhibit across different domains, different industries, that can be really valuable. And finally, say we can definitely call it as a wrap if there aren't any pertaining questions, but definitely we will attend to some of your questions accordingly. All right. and try to answer your questions in case you have any by the end of the session to go with. All right, so with that, let's quickly get started. I'm pretty sure you all are excited, you all are eager enough to learn, right? See, in terms of understanding what these agents really represent about. All right, so let's get started and let's get going on this journey to understand the possibilities with respect to agentic AI and so on and so. Now, I have a very interesting slide, and numbers speak, right? So before I get into maybe say discussing about the content, okay, let me make you understand the relevance of what we are trying to discuss, and just to ensure that we all are um, on the same page with respect to the kind of value where things are heading up. So this is where it's a very interesting, say, forecast that has been represented by one of the prominent, say, research companies, which is Gartner, okay, which is where they have forecasted by 2028, all right, a 15 percentage of day-to-day work decisions will be made autonomously through agentic AI. Now, this is where say where the numbers were zero, all right, in the year 2024, all right. And you can see that how particularly it has scaled up or what kind of projection in the next 4 years has been looking at. Maybe more than that, but definitely on a realistic score, maybe down the lane with the kind of adoption and the discussions that we see around, there is a lot of opportunity when it comes to autonomous AI solutions accordingly. And that's where, okay, for you listeners, maybe the learners here in this masterclass, I want to make you understand or maybe see it really reflect upon the fact that there is, okay, a growing, say, demand when it comes to agentic systems. And of course, um, the need for what, say, again, growing the capabilities when it comes to, say, understanding the architecture of agentic solutions, and of course, say, how important is that we create, say, solutions, all right, how we can achieve, all right, with respect to maybe building the trust and the confidence in your organizations so that you would be able to delegate maybe such tasks to integrate artificial intelligence to handle your business processes to go with. So that's where be ready for the future. And this is there. Definitely, it's going to be a part of your future. And that's why we have carefully chosen this particular topic. Or maybe say, again, we understand our learners should find value. Definitely say who wants to excel, and definitely organizations who are looking for, say, taking things further ahead with respect to integration possibilities, definitely this masterclass is going to be of definite value to go with. So let's get started on this discussions and let me try to say speak or make you understand where this discussion is going up and so on so to go with. So the question is, what is an agent? All right. Of course, see, every time when we talk about AI, we all talk about, see, the possibilities when it comes to automation, right? Maybe the simulating human intelligence and so on. So, and I must say that definitely your agent is that, or maybe agentic AI that we talk about, is very much one of that subset of artificial intelligence, all right? Where different capabilities of AI is being used, or maybe say placed in line so that we are able to automate our business processes. So definitely say if you're someone who has really explored, who has say experimented, navigated the entire landscape of understanding AI-based technologies, you would see that AI definitely learns from the data, the patterns recognized, and tries to simulate, okay, or maybe say generate say predictions on similar lines to go with. And that's where there are different subsets of AI, like maybe NLP, generative AI coming into role play. To just to let you know that we can take that ability of machines, of your systems, to learn from the data. And then we can create these solutions that can be used for automation. Okay, automation in the sense that to work on your behalf. And of course, understanding your business processes and executing them in a very streamlined manner. So I must say, as companies, organizations evolve, I definitely say as a co-worker, as a colleague would have worked along with you, you will see all right agents that are being developed, that have been refined, that have been tailor-made set to meet certain business expectations would be able to be a part of your organization ecosystem, maybe working along with you to achieve greater heights in terms of maybe the productivity, enhancing the possibilities with respect to your um, work requirements, and so on and so. So the question arises, say, when these agents are being deployed, I'll give you an example scenarios to make you understand what are the possible, say, um, what do you call, say, the possibilities that does exist when it comes to maybe these agents, and that will really make you understand what is the scope and so on and so. But the interesting thing here is that, okay, agents, now you can create agents for anything that you identify with. Maybe it's a very basic agent or it's something very complex to go with. But yes, it becomes very interesting that again, in the line of your work, you can choose to deploy them on your specific applications. Maybe that is within the scope of bounded within the scope of your M365, okay, with respect to your Copilot. Maybe you want to make it available on your devices, on your applications, right? Digitization, right? When you have different endpoints and so on. So maybe on your custom websites, maybe on your SharePoint sites, maybe you want to integrate it into your custom, say, software applications, it's definitely going to be possible. So what happens here is, say, you can leverage the capabilities of artificial intelligence, okay, making to work for you, all right, in terms of maybe working with the processes, automation, and deploying or channelizing those agents to the right avenues in terms of possible interaction to go with. Now, here is a quick glimpse of, say, the possibilities that is available or that makes it possible to make you understand, say, what I would be able to do. Or maybe say, should my agents be limited to a certain way of working? Or maybe say, are there any hardcore rules to say look into? And I must say, all right, without any iota of doubt, okay, your agents can definitely vary in different levels, or maybe the degree of complexity exhibited, depending upon what you want to integrate and what are the capabilities that you want to have it achieved through a specific solution like your agent to go with. Now, your agent can be very simple. So, for example, maybe say you are looking for an search assistant, all right. Whenever there is some kind of a task that is related to maybe navigating across the data that is spread in the entire organizational landscape, all right, the data estate very particularly. Um, it becomes a very much a tedious task for maybe any employee or maybe any team member to maybe quickly fetch, search, index those kind of data sources or data from the data sources and provide with relevant informations, insights that are very aligned to the particular moment or maybe the kind of work that you're doing in. So that's where these agents can be helpful because again, you can use these agents very simply, maybe using the capabilities of AI, or right indexing capabilities, attach them to say what you call different solutions or different data sources of retrieving those agents or maybe informations acting like a quick search engine as such around there. But the difference is that very much scoped on your organization level or maybe the data that you have access to generate what summaries, maybe getting answers, maybe you want to specify, maybe specifically retrieve some kind of a feature, it's going to be possible. Now, I'm pretty sure maybe you have been some into some kind of a business role, and you are someone who would have identified some kind of say tools that are helping you with what you call say some kind of automation. like what we have in Microsoft, your Power Automate, you have the RPAs, right? Robotic process automations coming in. We have, say, some a set predefined set of conditions that can be set on your specific task, and you would have been executing some kind of a workflows as such around there. So navigating from there, whenever you want to incorporate dynamicity, and then of course you want, maybe you can create agents with respect to working with your tasks which are very repetitive, maybe in the context of a user, maybe you want to streamline your workflows and dynamically you want to identify certain tasks as such, even definitely say, and executing a series of actions, definitely it's going to be possible with your agents that we're talking about. And what if, say, again, all the way it gets orchestrated is different, but you can also have, say, agents that can operate autonomously. Okay, autonomous in the sense that they're going to be independent. Okay, so very dynamically. All right. Um, again, whenever you want, like how you would collaborate with your team members, you can dynamically identify the agents which have been created, which have been maintained in that of your space, and then definitely these agents can definitely trigger or maybe say call each other and fetch informations and get your task done. So in a very autonomous level where you can declare them or work with them, these kind of solutions, even that is very much possible. So to what extent or to what degree that a complexity is being exhibited by an agent will depend upon how you have configured it or maybe in what stage of adoption are you into. All right. Maybe some of you are going to get started. Maybe you guys are waiting for some kind of licenses, maybe enablement that you're looking from your corporate side. Definitely say you might want to start very simple. And definitely once you have identified the possibilities, maybe gain the trust, and definitely say effectively being able to work in those scenarios, you should be able to scale your solutions all right on different levels, on different prospects, and achieving its capabilities to go well. And that's where you uh, say there are different say development paths consider. All right. When it comes to Microsoft, since we are discussing this, limiting this discussions to that of the possibilities that Microsoft makes it available. So, see, you can consider this in a way that where you can go for solutions that are IaaS, all right? So there are different ways that you can consider. One is that you can go for the infrastructure as a service. So this is where, again, Microsoft has a lot of, say, capabilities, all right, when it comes to offering you with the right tools, helping you to create scalable solutions, okay, that can integrate the capabilities of AI. And if you are someone who wants to use Azure AI infrastructure, okay, where you want to get the highest level of control, maybe the visibility, and of course, maybe the customization of your solutions. Okay, in that case, you can go for your infrastructure as a service capability provided by your Azure AI infrastructure as such. So this is where you can bring in your own data or like your own frameworks. You will be very much in control, all right, in terms of the prospects and the kind of configuration that goes into building these kind of agents. And many times organizations definitely say, and it depends upon where you stand or maybe what stage of what, say, working with your agents or maybe development that you're looking at, but definitely this is going to be really be helpful on that. The second part is where you can go for the PaaS offerings, okay, where you can use your Azure AI Foundry, okay. For example, if you are someone who wants to code with some managed services, okay, whenever you want to say when there is a need for providing greater ease of use, all right. Um, Again, working with respect to the speed of development, that's where you can use your Azure AI Foundry and a very interesting service, which is your AI agent service as such, which is again on your Azure cloud. And then finally, if you are someone, okay, maybe you are a developer or maybe a maker, very particularly app maker as such, you want to look for, say, highest level of platform integrations. You are looking for ease of usage. I'm sorry, and you're also looking for uh, rapid development. All right, that's where you can also consider the Copilot Studio. But again, say, but if you're working with Copilot students, again, say the high level of control. the kind of customization. Of course, that will be the expense that goes into when you're working with a SaaS solution like Copilot Studio to go with. So why I am talking, okay, you can see that if you see here, the minimum say control or the visibility customization, if you're looking, then definitely say, okay, with the offering, definitely it's a SaaS way of Copilot Studio to go with. But if you are someone who is in that stage of developing these agents, if you're aware of the underlying infrastructure, maybe choosing maybe the right service to work with, and so on. So, in that case, the infrastructure is a service. And then definitely you want to create a trade-off again with respect to code, working with respect to integration of services, and so on. So, then in that case, you can go for the PaaS offering that is offered by Azure AI Foundry to go. Okay, so you would see this, all right. It offers you with a lot of capabilities, and there are a bunch of tools that can be taken into context. Now, all that we discussed here, whether it is in terms of maybe the PaaS, maybe the different cloud services, definitely they classify their task on that basis. Am I right? So whenever you have such kind of a discussion being brought in, everyone is looking for maybe understanding, all right, what are the benefit it really brings. Okay, uh, how can definitely I be benefited, or maybe say on what level does it uh, say bring that kind of enhanced productivity, or maybe that gain from an organizational perspective, maybe from an individual perspective to go with. I must say this definitely say this can be classified, or maybe say on two levels, very particularly. One is where, of course, as I told you, from an individual perspective. Okay. Now, I completely understand being a business professional, all right, or maybe say in whatever the kind of role you are, you would be spending a lot of time, all right, say, um, doing your business processes, your workflows, executing them. And of course, I completely agree. You are excellent in what you have been doing, but many a times, again, on the demands of the business, definitely you might be requiring to say depend on maybe another team member, or maybe say maybe sometimes it takes time for you to maybe fetch some informations, and definitely say maybe since again you're going to deal with a lot of data, the inputs and decisions and so on. So it becomes a very much difficult thing. Okay, not difficult, I would say, but sometimes it's possible that maybe, okay, focus can be an issue in terms of again achieving that, I say, what do you call productivity that you're looking at. And that's where you can use these agents, right? You can create agents that can act as your assistance. So a very good example of this is your Copilot. All right, I'm not sure how many of you have it enabled within the context, or maybe say when we talk about GPT kind of a scenario. Now we have gone away, we have migrated away. All right, say from that of what you call to search engines. And now most of your questions and queries are very much being embed into these kind of what generative AI tools, so that you have a very quick, insightful, or maybe a very narrowed, specific results being made available. Likewise, you have the Copilot, definitely say, which is being embedded into your ecosystem. And of course, depending upon your license, the tool being enabled, you can use it as a virtual assistant in your case. And on the tip of your say fingers, definitely with the right prompt being provided, it can really weave together a lot of information that is a part of your ecosystem and provide you with relevant insights that you can work upon. And that makes it a very, very fascinating tool. Again, as a chat, because it leverages, it integrates the conversational AI capabilities, and of course the NLP, and of course generative AI coming in to generate responses to go with. So as an individual, you feel empowered, you feel supported, you feel safe, uh, what do you call? maybe finishing of your things, all right, works very easily with the kind of relevancy that you're looking in. You can streamline the work depending upon the processes that you have identified to be automated or maybe say executed, and your agents can definitely be helping you on that. So that's a transformations definitely it's going to be building in, and maybe say definitely you can spend a lot of time, all right, doing something which is more fruitful or maybe more effective and of more value than doing something which is more repetitive, being replaced by that of these agents to go with. And from an organization perspective, yeah, that again on the next level, of course, organizations are looking for, say, what we call it as the individual, say, growth, of course, for sure. Along with that, when an individual is being empowered, organizations can think, all right, or maybe say the processes are something that organization can definitely be finding value with, in the sense that they can definitely identify or maybe say automate some complex processes, okay, but again ensuring that every milestone of business process is being met in a very streamlined manner, in a very validated manner, all right, ensuring that there are no aspects of business that are being missed out. And of course, they can transform the way in which, okay, or maybe optimize the way in which processes are executed, and definitely impacting or maybe benefiting in the context of the business system. So think from a large scale context. So when I say complex, it necessarily doesn't mean that say we are going to deal with say the kind of steps or maybe the complexities involved. I meant maybe the kind of services, the kind of processes, the kind of maybe tasks that needs to be performed, which can definitely be automated. So fetching from different data sources, providing you with some relevant insights, and then definitely presenting something which is very insightful for that instance is definitely that way of transformations. So the way you would have executed, of course, without missing those workflows and so on. So maybe say identifying those bottlenecks, you would be able to resolve in that. And that's where, say, again, you have these agents that can be created where for different processes that needs to be automated. All right, you can use these agents that can be acting as your task executors. All right, and providing you with some relevant information, okay, relevant insights. And any a time, maybe a particular agent is not able to perform or maybe say identify some kind of a task, it can definitely call up another agent or maybe trigger another agent who is expert, all right, which is expert definitely in terms of executing a task. So organizations definitely can maintain a pool of agents. So that's a very interesting point that I must be highlighting, right? In the sense that, okay, you cannot, it is not recommended, or it wouldn't be a good practice, very particularly where you create a single agent that can handle a whole lot of processes. So when it comes to scalability in terms of different services, different applications, and of course, different users and the amount of data, it can be an issue to move. So that's where you can carefully choose those aspects that you want to automate or that you want your agents to be handling in any particular given scenario in a very orchestrated manner to be and feel empowered and being transformed accordingly. So I'm not sure how many of you ever got to play around with any of the tools that have been listed, but just say wanted to give you a quick insight, maybe the possibilities here with respect to certain tools that are available. As I told you, or maybe for your end users, all right, we can definitely start with respect to see your agent builder within your M365 Copilot. So here you have a range of what agent development tools, maybe for your business users, maybe for your makers, maybe for your professional developers, and so on. So, and that's where for end users, they can use your agent builder in your M365 Copilot, all right, where whenever you want to build specialized Copilot agents. Okay, now I am sure this is when again the right kind of licensing and so on so comes into role play. But in the sense that if you want to build these agents, okay, within your maybe your SharePoint or maybe in your Copilot chat and so on, so this is really helpful. Benefit is that, okay, you have a very much a no code interface, okay, a no code interface where you would be able to build your agents with very basic natural language inputs. And you can use them in terms of what say productivity, maybe for your collaboration scenarios too. If I can show you what I'm trying to talk about, most of you would be aware, even if in case, even if you are not aware, this can be really be helpful. Okay, just let me show you. See here. Okay, so I'm talking from this perspective, okay, where, all right, you can or you should be able to work with respect to creating agents. All right. So this is your M365 Copilot chat. All right. Microsoft Copilot chat. I have logged in with my corporate ID. All right. Just for your info. Where again, in this tenant, I have my Copilot license being enabled as such. So you can see I have a trainer agent. I also have a Contoso coffee agent. Now these are both agents, okay, which I have created using the same what declarative agent capabilities coming in your M365. So it's as simple, again, just to let you know that there are a bunch of, say, these agents that are available, which are pre-built, all right, where you can definitely be working with these kind of agents accordingly. And it provides you with those possibilities to create agents also. So you can see a contest to coffee agent, maybe a trainer agent. This was a part of another session, okay? Nothing to bother about that, but just to let you know that again, I can create these agents simply from this interface. So here are all the agents that are available in your, okay, um, again, some that are built by Microsoft, again, some featured agents as such. Just to let you know that you can consider using these agents as a template. All right, maybe you want to customize them, leveraging some capabilities. Definitely, it's going to be possible. But these two agents are something that I had created, all right. And definitely from here, I can see here now all the specificity see, which is being created by me. I can just ask questions in the context of the scope of the agent to go with. So I can manage a pool of maybe agents very particularly that can be created and definitely say if it is being shared with a particular person or maybe a team member, they would also be able to work with it. So here I also have another agent, all right, which is again a trainer agent. I just to showcase very particularly, which can be created, which had been created by me. So it becomes very easier for anyone, for an end user who knows his or her task. Definitely, I know for sure you're experts on that. Definitely say you can use these templates, all right, to describe the kind of agent, or maybe you want to configure the agent with a particular name, the kind of task, the kind of data sources that you should be able to work with, the capabilities maybe for interpreting the code if needed, maybe image generation and so on. So that can be done accordingly. The interesting thing that you must be able to understand in this case is that, okay, with just some descriptions and all these capabilities made available, depending upon your knowledge source, you can definitely be able to work with it. Or you can just give a description here and definitely, or maybe you want to choose some templates to get started with, even that is very much possible. So you can describe, hey, I'm looking for such and such, and maybe I'm looking for an HR agent, all right, helping me with some kind of what do you call, say, training requirements as such around there. And then on that basis, definitely it will start to ask you some metadata, and you can provide with that relevant informations, and then definitely have the agent being created in that case to go with. So to just to let you know very much that in this case is that we can create these agents, all right, with just descriptions or maybe the configuration that you're looking in, and that's possible from your the Copilot, okay, M365 Copilot chat to go with. And definitely, once you're configured, definitely you can choose whether you want to make it available for your entire team, or maybe for you alone, maybe using them in that context as such. That is pretty much possible. So that is what that is where we were working with your M365 Copilot. Okay, the agent builder that we were talking about. Whereas you also have the Copilot Studio. Let me take you to my Copilot Studio. This is where my Copilot Studio is all about. Okay, so here you can see, all right, where we are talking about the Copilot Studio. This is again, if you have well versed, if you're aware of Microsoft Power Platform. So this is where again the infrastructure is definitely on the Azure AI cloud infrastructure, but definitely you have the Copilot Studio that can help you to work with respect to creating agents, all right, very easily. So this is a low code. Okay, I'll show you a demo, then that will give you an understanding. So this is a low code way of working with respect to what agents as such. Okay, where you can just simply start creating your agents, again, bringing in data from different data sources and with description, with some way of what working with for makers, especially for app makers and so on. So this is going to be really helpful. There's also a third possibility where you can say use your Azure, okay, where you can work with your semantic kernel. You can use your Azure, say AI agent service, maybe Azure AI Foundry, different integrating other AI services. Even that is pretty much possible with respect to AI Foundry to go with. Okay, that is pretty much possible. I'll show you also another demonstration where you can say choose a particular model and then definitely create an agent or maybe say make it available and start testing it on this particular interface to go. That is pretty much possible. So I believe this is clear, all right, so far on the basis of what we have discussed. Just to make you understand very particularly what agents are, maybe what are the tools does exist. Okay. Now you will have a lot of questions. Hey, what are the agents that are available, or maybe say what are the possibilities again that can be made available in this scenario. But let me try to discuss few slides, and then definitely we will try to play around with the tool. So the next question that we will try to answer in this case is what is an autonomous agent? All right, I told you what an autonomous agent is all about. Okay, a bit ago, but we are talking about agents that can manage certain solutions independently. Okay, where it can orchestrate if you're looking for automation, again for your complex business stuff. That's where the autonomous agents are coming in a very dynamic manner. So if you're someone who's looking for working with your different workflows, all right, and you want to reduce, minimize your human efforts, all right, and you want solutions that can change again very dynamically to that, adapting themselves to the conditions, the environment of the inputs and the kind of work and the variations being exhibited, that's when you can consider going for autonomous agents as such. So maybe for some decision making, for automation of your workflows, maybe for some complex data entry, data process as such around there. In that case, autonomous agents are really. This is where again they can work independently because again they reduce the need for the constant intervention human side as such around it. Again, I can be using all right these agents very particularly, all right. Again, on beginning levels, maybe whenever some input happens, should I be retrieving it, retrieving some kind of an information from a data source? I can be doing it. So here, when you're looking in this case, all right, I'm trying to talk about a spectrum, the possibilities. This is where it's possible depending upon what stage of maybe AI adoption or maybe transformation that your company is going through, your organization is going through, you can create agents along the lines. So some are advanced, okay, some are pretty advanced, and some organizations are building the next generation of agents with autonomous capabilities coming in. And some organizations are still building out the agents to focus on maybe some basic retrieval tasks, okay, um, that again bringing their knowledge and automation into their agent experiences too. So again, uh, the concept here is say again, most of these agents will definitely have their own what the same set of components. But again, as a maker, maybe as a developer, all right, the complexity will dictate like where it sits very particularly on those levels to go with. And with agents or maybe autonomous agents that we talk about, all right, say we are talking, I already told you, right, whether it is the complex, the task that you're going to work, automation, management, and so on. So with agents, you are trying to say, work towards achieving efficiency, all right, innovation in your organization. And these agents are pretty proactive. That means what? Whenever there is some kind of a channeled signal coming in, all right, say they can respond accordingly to those inputs coming in, okay, to the signals across distances. And again, if you are looking for initiating some task where there is no need for some kind of a human input, these autonomous agents are really, really helpful. That's what I told you. They are independent, okay, completing tasks behind the scenes. They are very adaptive, all right, where we are capable of producing different outcomes from the same initial conditions provided. And that's where organizations can say significantly improve a lot, okay, improve their business operations when it comes to performing tasks in a more efficient and definitely with very more efficiently and with very minimum human oversight to go with. That is pretty much possible. And that's where, say, with autonomous agent, it's gonna transform a lot. All right. The kind of agility, city it really brings in, all right, where you can see work with respect to different business processes, all right, and of course modernize interactions between different legacy systems, your data sources, and of course executing your business processes accordingly in a very adaptive agile such. And then, of course, efficiency that you tend to arrive at, right? Because again, you identify new processes, a better way, a very refined way that you will be able to unlock the possible potential associated with the large volumes of data, fetching those insights, and of course, resolving the problems as and when. And again, executing in a very efficient manner to go with. And of course, I have already said this, stated this, the scalability factor coming in, right? This is where, right, say whenever, okay, everyone gets empowered across different users, across the data that is spread of business context, right? Different functional departments, different areas, different processes. So you will see the scaling coming in, and of course, you achieve a lot more with respect to this kind of a deployment to be taught with. So here is an example of maybe just giving an example because I said, okay, that again, it can vary from a very simple agent to something which is very complex. Okay, so that's where you have the agents that may be a very basic help desk agent, all right. So, for example, maybe a simple question, all right, to connect to your corporate network for an IT help desk, or maybe for project tracker, maybe you want to understand what is a particular phase of a given project as such around there, or maybe you want to use agents that can help you with some kind of task execution. That is where okay you can go for a device refresh agent, just new laptop and send approvals via C. Approval process is involved. You have an say budget management agent, all right, the POs, purchase orders, and financial planning helping you with task. Okay, here it's more of what say kind of a retrieval coming in, but here on this level, you are working with respect to say some kind of a task execution. And what if say you want to work with an agent very autonomously? Okay, that's where the agent has identified and researched 15 new see automatically. Now this is where you have automatically behind the scenes an intelligent agent was being created again maybe for some sales work, maybe for media campaigns and so and so, but it identified that there were 15 new leads, okay, without you explicitly doing any instruction. The agent was being configured to quickly navigate or maybe say draw inferences, okay, insights from different leads to be provided with, or maybe a customer support agent, all right, where the agent has identified that, okay, there is new support issues, maybe say uh, it triggered that to other reasons accordingly. So look that way, okay, where it can intelligently identify these agents working on backdrop in a very streamlined manner, again, fetching informations, inputs being signaled from different scenarios, and then putting that across to another agent or executing specific tasks. So the question arises again how these autonomous agents work. Again, you can see that there's going to be a trigger, there's going to be an input, okay, where you're going to be activating this, all right. So this is where you can set the goals, you can set your define, you can define what you want to capture. So in our previous case, if you remember, when we were talking, the agent identified, right, research 15 units. So your agent can be equipped, okay, in such a way that to capture such a kind of an input and then trigger some actions accordingly. So these autonomous agents, again, they always work with a trigger associated with them, where you can set those conditions, maybe those inputs, all right, those possible ways in which these inputs are going to be brought in. And then, of course, you can identify those processes that is supposed to be executed. All right. So every input is going to be aligned to that of some kind of a process automation area without even any human intervention, you would be able to automate it accordingly. And then, of course, say as a way, okay, you can ensure you can set some guardrails, some checkpoints very specifically, the guidelines that you can be considering as a way of what successful achievement of ensuring the successful completion of your project. So maybe the process to go and if needed, definitely that's a very important point that, okay, we are not discussing that here, but yes, it is very important that you orchestrate or maybe transfer your call or maybe say transfer your flow to an human, all right, whenever it's needed. Because again, transparency is very important across these solutions as we scale them with. And in case if there is a need for orchestrating or maybe connecting with other agents, it should be able to dynamically call accordingly because again, a large complex task, again, individual agent front be a difficult part. So if you can break down, create agents, and there are other agents that can intelligently tackle these certain scenarios, it should be able to trigger or reroute that call accordingly. And of course, say maybe say providing with respect to enhanced capabilities or maybe say responses being constructed in terms of AI-based reasoning community role play. So here are some quick examples of some, say, use cases that we can consider across, say, industries. Okay. Um, Again, I'm trying to talk about the kind of versatility and the kind of impact these agents solutions bring in across different departments and the kind of functional areas that we're going to go. So look at this first example that we have for maybe for a travel booking and an expense management, anyone from such a domain, you will find it. Say, for example, you can use agents, all right. For example, say where you want to fetch informations from maybe something like TripAdvisor, all right, Outlook, and so on. So, and then it will be able to streamline your booking process. That way, you can make, or say, it will make it possible for you to manage your travel or their travel through the teams, maybe, okay, or maybe through their email as such. All right, that can be done. Maybe for employee onboarding, right? So what you can do is where you can say you can use these LLMs, all right, the large language models, and you can create what say personalized onboarding assistance, all right, experience for your new hires, so that it really ensures that your new employee, your team member would be able to be ready, be updated, and they are provided with relevant training and the support as they have been onboarded into their company, onto the particular company as such. And definitely, these agents or you will be able to keep track in terms of maybe what you call the trajectory or maybe the progression that has taken place in terms of completing those tasks with respect to an agent of that sort. Maybe for personalized customer support. All right. So again, you can use what automated workflows where you can enhance your service efficiency when maybe you want to diagnose some kind of what do you call say issues, you want to manage your follow-ups and so on. So that can be done. And you want to use it for maybe some kind of data analytics, all right. See and reporting, right? Again, where you can use your natural language processing where you would be able to generate insights from vast data sources and you would be able to facilitate real-time decision making coming in a very automated manner. So here is where again across departments, all right, across different functional levels, you can use, all right, demonstrate again, you will be able to see the impact of versatile solutions that these agents are all about. Now let's try to talk about say industry scenarios. Okay, let me say for example in healthcare. All right. So for example, you want to perform some kind of data entry, okay, for your streamlining your clinical workflows, maybe working with this research, all right, the capabilities, and maybe see other facets accordingly that you're looking in terms of operational efficiency and you're leading into a better patient outcome in the healthcare, this can be really be helpful. If you're looking for maybe from the manufacturing perspective, okay. So for example, whenever you want to minimize your downtime for your safe production, optimizing your energy and so and so. So you can use these agents, all right, that can plan operations, all right, maintenance, and so and so. And you can coordinate with maybe some suppliers. Maybe you want to track your maintenance and so and so, that can be really, really be helpful. Maybe something that is very much possible that you can consider. So you can use the predictive capabilities. There are some LLMs and so on, so that can be considered. But yes, definitely it's possible. Again, consider from the travel and the hospitality industry. All right, maybe in booking, customer support, and so on. So for your travel experiences in retail. All right, providing you with some what do you call these recommendation systems can be really beneficial, right? Maybe you want to manage your inventory. That's when you can create what multi-agent systems. All right, and of course you can literally say revolutionize your customer engagement coming in and achieving that kind of operational efficiency to go with. So when you look from this perspective, definitely say from a key industry perspective, or maybe say different industry use cases that could have been discussed, just giving you some insights in terms of the possibilities that exists here in this case to go with. So here are some business use cases to be considered. All right. Say again, the kind of benefits these agents really bring in. All right. And when companies are challenged with respect to having increased productivity, again, saving the cost, or maybe for accuracy of business processes, ensuring compliance is trust, and so in accordance with the requirements as such. Maybe for collaboration, maybe for security, and again, say tasks that can be completed, all right, with respect to turnaround times, maybe the scalability and so on. So again, you can see the kind of range of benefits these agents really bring onto the table. All right. And that is where say uh that's where I must say this organizations are choosing to adopt agents. All right, again, creating scalable solutions with respect to different processes to go. So here is where a quick maybe say some criteria that can be really be helpful for you guys to consider, or maybe say what would be that criteria, okay, that can be used with respect to your objectives, maybe the time, right, the UX, the user experience to go with, integration capabilities that you're looking in, some questions that can be really, really be helpful for you to decide, all right, how to get started, or maybe say arrive at maybe starting developing an agent to go with. Let's take a quick short break. And once we are back, we can continue further ahead.
Thank you so much, Jinu. Hello, everyone. I am Ria, and now I would like to take over and go through the badge redemption part. I'm excited to announce that all the participants in today's masterclass have been given free access to MS 401 for courseware. The best part is you also get to claim your digital achievement badges on Microsoft Learn to celebrate your fundamental skilling journey. Issued by Microsoft, these badges can help you highlight your newly acquired skills and boost your career potential. Let's take a quick look at the steps that you need to follow. So this is our badge redemption page, and on right hand side you can see a QR over here. So if you have your mobile phone handy, you can scan this QR code and you will easily be able to redeem your courseware and certificate using our mobile phone landing page. And if you're currently on your PC, you can redeem your courseware and certificate by clicking on this button. This is a clickable button and you can easily redeem your courseware and certificate from this. Now let's quickly see the three steps that you need to follow. So first you need to sign in to your Microsoft Learn account using your personal or professional Hotmail or Outlook account. And if you're already signed in, you will directly be seeing step 2, which is redeem your code, which will be already pre-filled. So under step 1, you can see a button. This button is also clickable. You can redeem your courseware and certificate by clicking on this button as well. Now we can see step 2, which is your unique code will be already pre-filled. You don't have to add anything over here. You just need to click on this button, which is redeem button. And now you will receive a message indicating that your achievement has been added to your profile. You need to click on this view profile button over here, and now you can access your Microsoft official courseware module from training tab. So let me show you quickly an example of your redemption page. So this is how your redemption page would look like. You need to follow 3 steps to download your certificate. First, you need to go to achievements. Then in step 2, you need to go to learning path. And from this printer icon over here, by clicking on this, you will be able to download or generate your certificate from here. And now you can showcase your certificate on your LinkedIn or any other social media app if you want to. If you have any question regarding the badge redemption part, our team is there in chat. You can type your query over there and they will help you with that. And with that, I would like to leave you for the break. Thank you so much.
Sure, we are now going to take a 5-minute break, but before we do that, we are going to launch a quick poll that we want to invite you to participate in. Doing so helps us know how we can better serve you by telling us who might be interested in more information or in taking some additional training. In addition, we have a lot more informative webinars coming up, so please go to netcomlearning.com/webinars in order to register.
All right, guys, welcome back. And here we proceed further on this particular part of the journey to explore some of the demonstrations that I have for you guys. So, again, leaving all this apart, let's quickly look into some of these possibilities that these agents really offer. Let's try to play around with this particular tool, and let me try to make you understand, see, again, how you can leverage these tools and create these solutions to go with. I believe this is so far clear and this makes sense, and you're able to imbibe what I try to talk about. Again, the kind of benefits, the prospects that really exhibit. So, as I told you, I said that I'm going to be using two tools. One is your Copilot Studio. Okay. Again, would we be getting into something very complex? No, but again, it can be complex, but definitely this can really ignite you with respect to trying around with the tool. I'm not sure how many of you have an say the access to your Copilot Studio, but definitely let me put this across. It's a portal, all right. It's a web portal where you can use the low code capabilities to work with respect to creating your agents as such. Okay. Now, again, it's a part of your Power Platform where we can use what the descriptive capabilities, all right, generative AI capabilities, and so on, so to work in the scenario. So to create an agent, there are different ways that we can start creating an agent. For example, again, in this Copilot Studio, you can create agents using these templates that are available. Okay, and then maybe you want to customize it. Definitely, it's possible. All right. And then, or maybe what you can do is you can start creating an agent very similar to that of your agent builder to go with. All right. So this is where you can describe, all right, or maybe if you want to configure, even that is very much possible. So I'll ensure that I'm in the description part and I'll try to give a description here. Okay, that will make us understand what are we trying to do, or maybe say to go again. I'm instructing the co-pilot, all right, in this chat interface by describing the functionality of the agent that I want to have it created. So this is where I say, okay, I'm looking for creating an agent, all right, to help employees with their expense savings. Okay, now let's give this instruction here. Yeah, so you can see, okay, an agent that, okay, the co-pilot within this particular this particular portal suggests me with respect to, okay, the kind of possibilities that can be considered, or maybe say the kind of descriptions that we want to be providing in this case to go with. So here you can say here, see in this cases, your agent is now set up and so and so, and it suggests me a name that is expense claims assistant. All right. Now, this is okay. If you want to keep that same name, that is well and good. Or if you want to give a different name, all right, it's something that you would be able to say provide with. So I can say that expense claims assistant, or maybe say what do you call hmm, expense claim. Yeah, expense. Let's say um, assistant. Let's give the name expense buddy. All right, let's give the name. So it really understands, okay, because now you look at this part, all right, it updates the name to expense buddy instead of what it suggested me, because again, there is contextual understanding that these agents take, the co-pilot within this portal takes into account, okay. I can say then it is going to refine, all right, what is the specification, the kind of task, and so on. So it is going to be provided with, all right. Okay, I can say this, okay. I want uh, the agent to be uh, professional and and using a very friendly tone, okay, and make sure, okay, not use any, say, accessible, okay, let's say, publicly accessible websites, get information. All right. Also, also avoid answering, say, questions on tax advice. This is where my motto, this is what my goal is. So what you would have seen is, since I'm using my Copilot Studio, okay, uh, I have used descriptive capabilities, all right, and I have described what I want. So whatever you would have seen here, again, it aligns to what kind of an agent am I looking for, and again, the kind of behavior it should be exhibiting. All right. As of now, on the basis of whatever I've provided, it really has captured the context. Okay, it's like maybe your manager coming and telling you, hey, this is what I want you to work, and the way that kind of process is to be executed. So here you have created an agent which has been very much been described in this case to go with. Okay, so as of now, I keep this as such, and then I would say this, all right, what I'm going to do is, okay, no more other configurations, just to give an understanding. Maybe you want to add more jargons or maybe some tokens as we build these solutions. I'll leave it to you guys. Okay, let me hit create, and this is gonna be ready in a while. Okay, that's getting ready. There you go. It's ready. It's just creative. Is it complete? I wouldn't say this. Maybe you want to have more refinements. But just to get started, we are in a very much in a very good, say, position to consider it. Okay, that is what you should be able to see in this case. Now, let's say when you have an agent of the sort being created, now you see with all that inputs that I gave in, right? I wrote what was the name. All right, see here, maintain professional and friendly tone, explicitly answer questions about eligible expenses, clear instructions, and so and so. Do not use public accessible websites as source of information. Avoid answering any questions. See, all this instruction is being given. Now, I'm not sure like if you would have or anyone who has taken some kind of a course on prompt engineering or maybe say understands how prompts work. So when you work with prompts in your generative AI tools, okay, your inputs before you provide maybe a specific input, again, you have a goal, right? But you might have a way of getting it done. So here, as an agent, I give these descriptions and write all this metadata so that my agent knows how to behave. And that was the instruction part that I have provided earlier. And interestingly, say when this is being done on this particular Copilot Studio, I can, on the basis of whatever I provided, I should be able to test my agent in a very interactive testing to go with. But there are a lot of other facets that I could have discussed here. So for example, let me show you something interesting. With this, that description, will the agent be able to work? Let's check. Let's say, let me say hi. Yes. So it says, hello, how can I help you today? When I said hi, it understood that me. from my side, it's an meeting, all right, and then it greeted me back by how can I help you today? Even though when we had started, we haven't created anything as such. And that's where you need to understand what this agent comprises of. So your agent comprises of, see, your agent consists of the knowledge in the sense that like how we have a knowledge. So whenever you are asked to do a particular task or maybe say respond with some answers, I'm pretty sure something that you would have read in the past, maybe some videos, some blogs, some logs definitely will attribute towards that response. Am I right? Likewise, for given an agent, it will have a knowledge source. As of now, there is no knowledge source in the sense that I didn't attach any knowledge source because again, to respond for my business context, I can add knowledge sources from that of my specific maybe business scenarios to go with. I can create tools. All right. So, for example, you want to do more than that of just retrieval. You want to perform some tasks. You want to say, for example, if you add a tool, look at this case here. You want to connect with some Excel, maybe Office 365. Maybe you want to connect with the data analysis sites and different scenarios. You see, in all these scenarios, definitely you can. Again, I'm just trying to talk about the possibilities where you want to extend with respect to connectors that are available. Maybe you want to interact with other agents that are a part of this ecosystem of this environment. You remember when I had said hi, said hello, how can I help you? This is you see, it's nothing but a topic. So that is where your co-pilots or maybe your agents in your co-pilot studio. So how does any AI solution, right, perform a specific task or maybe work with respect to some features? It is simply based upon classification, taxonomies that you create, labeling that you create. So here, topics you can create what agents, all right, those kind of tasks that an agent should be able to handle. Where, for example, when there is hello, hi, agent is going to be responding, how can I help you to choose capture? So given a business agent or maybe any particular business use case, you can have multiple say topics that can be created, okay, in a very streamlined manner where you can choose how to get started and how to end and so working with. And that's where you have the custom agent and the system agent. Just to let you know. Maybe you want to create some activities, all right, connecting you with say different say channels and so on. So you capture that. This is a very interesting say a platform whenever you want to track the performance, right? How your agent was able to engage with users, where your users satisfied. Okay, what was the number of active sessions? You can get an insight, an holistic insight, and you can use those metrics in terms of improving your solutions. That is pretty much possible. And from the same Copilot Studio, you can also connect or say once you publish, you can say make your agents available on different platforms, maybe within M365 or some other external channels, maybe on your websites and so on. So that's pretty much possible. Okay, just to make you understand, I'm not going to get into aspects again, addition of time that we haven't, but just to let you know. Okay, so for example, let's say now you would see my uh, so you would see that given a topic, it has a particular flow. Okay. So for example, let me ask this agent a question. All right. Uh, who should I, okay, connect, all right, for submitting the expense claims? It's a question. What happened? So here, all right, um, Here you will get a very, very generic answer. All right. Again, understand that this is an agent that I have created for my specific scenario. All right. So here it says you should connect with your company's designated expense claim management team, or maybe the person responsible for reviewing and approving expense reports. Now look at this case here. It's a very generic answer fetched from some of this scenarios, or maybe say coming in this part. So if you remember when we had created this agent, the model that will be used for constructing the responses is the GPT-4o model. Okay, so let's say, for example, now in my business context, this doesn't make sense, right? For my organization, my departments will be different, or maybe a specific person. So I can say that, let me ask another question. What is the expense limit, okay, for a hotel stay? The company policy sets a maximum reimbursement limit of, again, this is a very generic. As of now, we don't have a reason is, okay, it can be appropriate. I don't disregard that maybe this is invalid and so on. So, but just to let you know that this is a very generic answer in the scenario. That's where I'll have to consider, or maybe say work with respect to a way of ensuring solutions are really, really be what you call say aligned and working in the scenarios to go with. So let's say, let me do this and ensure that I am able to answer these kind of questions in a very specific. Again, don't want to miss out on my business processes, maybe notifying the right team member and so and so. So for that, let me add a topic. And for that, what I will do is I will add from, all right, blank. Okay, this is something that I'll have to change it here. Let me move it here and let's say this. Okay, let me create a topic and let me add a topic from the blank. Okay, so this is where I've created a topic. That topic will have a trigger if you're someone who understands Power Automate. So this is where I'm saying that you have to get initiated, okay, on this particular process. Okay, I'm gonna add some phrases. All right. So who to act for expenses. Okay. Uh, say expense contact person. Okay. Expense port contact. I'm just giving some sample inputs that can be used. Okay. Let's say uh, expense queries contact. Uh, who handles expense claims? So I'm just saying here, these are the possible, say, inputs, or maybe say some inputs that can have an intent of the sort being identified. Okay, when an intent of maybe an input of any of these meaning, or that makes very much aligned to these kind of inputs, then in that case, what am I supposed to do? All right, I can say this, send a message back to the user. All right, for expense related queries. All right, for expense related queries, please mm, write an email to, let's say, what do you call, Okay, let's see. Right. I give a simple name. All right. And then definitely what I can do is I can end the current. That's it. A very simple topic that was being executed in this week. Okay. I'm just giving an overview as such around it. And then definitely let's see. Let's see. Let me expense claim. Let's give a name for my. Now, if you try to test it now, okay, uh, uh, who should I contact for my expense claims? Question of that sort. See, for expense related, see, very predefined manner. But even though if I would have used different words or maybe phrases as such, but if it would have aligned to this kind of an input, okay, maybe the intent, definitely it's possible. Now, since earlier when I asked for some questions and so, it was very generic in terms of the answer, right? Again, so what I do is in the context of a real context of a business, say the reason is that again when you had asked a question, it used a conversation boosting, all right, to generate AI responses from your natural language inputs. And that's why the result is very generic. But in your business case, it's always gonna be specific. Okay. And that's why you will have to very particularly add your business context or maybe your business document or maybe say business knowledge sources that can be defined in your agent. Okay, as of now, I don't have any. So let me do one thing. Let me add my knowledge source. All right, where if needed, I can fetch my data from some public websites, maybe from SharePoint, all right, maybe from Dynamics 365. You see, a lot of possibilities that does exist in case. Okay, as of now, let me upload my file here and let me go to my downloads here. I have, and there you go. Okay, and do you want to give a description? It's up to you. But as of now, I will say, yeah, use this and I will add this to make this information to the agent. Okay. Meanwhile, let me show you what that document consists of. See, so this is what my document is for travel. Just 500 accommodation. See for meals. See, so this is very specific to maybe the kind of purpose for which I'm trying to create my agent all for. Okay, just a second. This is still in progress. I have to refresh this and okay, that's ready now. Okay. What we can definitely do is now let me test my agent. All right. So earlier when we were asking for expense limit, it gave very different answer, right? All right. Let's say what is the limit for expense for a hotel? See, it should be 150 and it uses see the reference C here. It comes into role play. So how beneficial this is, right? Maybe if I want to, okay, uh, what if I need to book, say, flights? Let's see, do we have some? Yeah, it says 500. That is what you would have seen here in this case for flights, for travel. You see? So what is happening here? The agent has fetched information from the specific knowledge source. So think from that perspective where you have a lot of data, all right? You spend a lot of time trying to fetch insights, answers, and so on. So, okay, this has been very simplified, where you have described you are a pro when it comes to your processes. So when your task has been identified, you can definitely be able to create or maybe say agents scenario to go. And once you're done, you can publish your agent. Okay, yes, it says publish. Okay, this is getting published, and once it's been done, I can make it available. Still getting published. It's been published. Let's test this. See, I'll have to change its settings. Seems like security, authentication. Sorry, no, save, and um, yeah. See, I can just test my agent. All right. Can you? Something went wrong. Was it? Okay. Okay, it's still getting published. Uh, Okay, let me try to refresh this. Okay, there you are. Okay, can you help me with um, limit for um, accommodation? 150 per night. So it fetches that information accordingly. So in my case, I just in the scenario, we just went with respect to what publishing it to a demo website. Maybe you had to configure it your teams, maybe with your SharePoint, maybe on your Facebook. See, there are different possibilities available. All right, that can be done accordingly. That is pretty much possible. Okay, and definitely you can retrieve or maybe we can test it accordingly and work in that case to go with. There's another interesting say, this is where we use the low code way. Okay. We are gonna again we are gonna offer agents that can be created using your say what do you call uh we are gonna use Azure AI Foundry portal, all right, for creating projects. Okay. Where you're gonna build an AI solution to go with. Now AI Foundry, it's a very what do you call it might fascinate you, but it provides you with a lot of collaborative capabilities. Okay, in the sense that whenever we are working with these kind of solutions, all right, and see, you want to integrate different AI capabilities as such. Okay, this is gonna be super helpful. Now, my motto is not to take you through the entire, maybe the array of AI services, but definitely this can be really be beneficial because. In the sense that you can say integrate different AI capabilities in your solutions and maybe just not limiting just to that of what you call maybe what we say maybe image as such, but if you have there are a bunch of these AI services that you can consider in the case of your business scenario, and then you can extend the possibilities to make it more intelligent and beneficial to go with. So let me show you how you can definitely be working with. Okay, I had already provisioned this resource from that of my Azure part. Again, to save on time, this is where I'm going to be working with my ai.azure.com. Okay. Definitely say I can manage build these agents using Azure AI agent service. And debug my agents if needed. Definitely, I can be doing that. But again, I'm using generative AI a way of what creating my agents to be in the sense with this particular portal. So here, as of now, let's say this is where, so earlier when we worked in this case, we didn't have, all right, so in the settings, if you go here, you were working with the default, what you call the model, that is your GPT-4o. This is where it becomes very interesting because nowadays with generative AI, or maybe there are a lot of LLMs that are there out in the market, right? So if you are someone who wants to say, what do you call, um, up to date, and maybe say you want to very particularly say go with respect to the customization, you want to leverage the possibilities with different agents as or maybe different LLMs, and in that case this is going to be really helpful. That's where in your AI Foundry, okay, you have this integration of OpenAI models, okay, the OpenAI service, Azure OpenAI service, that allows you to choose from an array of these models, LLMs. Okay, LLMs in the sense that large language models. Not only LLMs, you also can choose what these SLMs that are available. So some are licensed, some are say again there are different requirements that are available. Again, developed not only from the Microsoft side, you can also have from the OpenAI team. You have the ones that are being developed by the Twitter, the Grok team. Okay, maybe with respect to DeepSeek, maybe you want to integrate that of your say models that are capable, different capabilities that you're looking at, because nowadays applications require different capabilities. Am I right? So if you're looking for capabilities for say reasoning, routing, streaming, tool calling, maybe the kind of output you're going to deal with is going to be audio. See, so depending upon the kind of skill that you want to have within your agent, all right, or maybe the kind of application that you're going to work with, that's where this is going to be really be helpful. Just to let you know. Okay. Now, I'm just giving you a scenario here in this case, but this is going to be really be helpful as we integrate or work with the solutions to go with. This is a very interesting tool. This is a PaaS offering, okay, where you can monitor your solutions. All right. You want to work with respect to the governance and so on. So, all right. Maybe you want to manage. All right. Maybe you want to even say fine tune, that is refine these models. Okay, to suit your business context. Even that is very much possible. Okay, with respect to these agents to go with. So, for example, again, I told you, right? Again, on your AI Foundry, say there are a bunch of these models. Again, for example, you're looking for the audio generation. You're looking for, say, something like text generation, so the image generation using text. Dolly, you want to work with respect to maybe what you call video generation, you can go for Sora. Definitely, that is pretty much possible. So, just to give you an overview about, so here you have again the kind of skill set. Now, again, there are different factors organizations will choose, or right, which model, which scale, which say skill set that you're looking in. Again, very interestingly, say this portal also provides you with that capability of comparing different models, not only from the cost front. Say, for example, there are different parameters, say costing, quality, embeddings, latency, safety, all right? Maybe the quality index. So, different factors that you can consider on different agents to go with. And then you can compare them and understand, okay, to decide upon how it is working, capturing those metrics, even that can be done. Not a part of the session, again, just to let you know that possibility does exist. Okay, so in your model catalog, let's say I'm going to go for something like, say, let's say, what do you call? Let's see, let's go for the GPT model. So GPT, which stands for generative pre-trained. Okay, so instead of say, let's go for okay, the 4O, okay, the 4O. Select this. Oh, this is a model. Now you might have a question, you might have a concern, right? Okay, hey, do you when we go for this kind of a model, will my data be used for what do you call my for training these models? And I must say the answer is no, in the sense that you choose when you go for a particular model, LLM. Okay, that's what I meant by model as such. So when you go for a particular LLM, okay, gets to use this model. Okay, once you start using this model, it gets deployed on a very unique endpoint available to you. So all your interactions, your inputs, your prompts, okay, will have very particularly a secure, or what you call say, interaction. API calls being made on that unique endpoint, generating responses with. So let me use this model, and you can get an insight about what are the various possibilities that you're looking in. So to use any particular model, it is very important that you go for the kind of deployment. Let's say let me give this NC for Masterclass, the kind of deployment. See, there are again all these attributes for some kind of costing to go with. I'm not going to get into that, but just to let you know that again, there are different deployment types that you can consider, and you can customize a lot of capabilities here. So do you want to upgrade once a new version is available, once the current version expires, and different settings that can be done, and the kind of version that you want to be using in any of these scenarios to now, interestingly, say, since we're talking about generative AI, or maybe say we're talking about these agents, all right, and maybe say very particularly you want to gain charges are based upon tokens. Tokens are the ways in which you send your inputs, okay, gets classified as, and of course, the kind of output generated will be also classified as a token as such. So depending upon the token rate that you set, definitely there is a charging allowed in it. Okay. And let's maybe say, let me reduce this token to maybe say three, maybe 5,000, 4,000 as of now, just to keep it, and I will deploy it. So when I deploy this model, look at this case here, you can see the benchmarks, also the score, the rates associated on the particular region. So it gets uniquely, see here, gets uniquely available on this what the endpoint that you're seeing here. Okay, so applications can make authenticated API calls on this particular endpoint with the key value accordingly on this resource, or maybe this deployed model on a particular region, all right, that where the services or this has been provisioned with. And maybe again, there is something called as Azure OpenAI SDK, all right, or maybe say the way, or maybe you want to work with AI SDK, AI inference SDK, different ways which you can definitely, if you want to go for a pro code scenario, whichever you're comfortable with, you can use it accordingly. And then say again, different metrics associated with your particular deployed model. As of now, it's all zero because I haven't made any request, haven't made any again responses coming in, and the risk and the safety again, all this particular dashboard to go with. Interestingly, say when we are working with these kind of solutions, right, or maybe a particular LLM. So again, when you're trying to build these agents, all right, and you can definitely say test them in this. Okay. Um, Again, whatever we did the other way around, this is say we're using this particular platform. And on your particular deployment that we worked with, okay, on this particular deployment that we just created right now, we can start testing our agents. Okay, so here you can see you get a lot of informations with respect to the model that you have deployed. See here, the key, the endpoint, and so on. So now on your playground, you should be able to test your particular deployment, which we just created right now to go with. Okay, just to make you understand the possibilities to go with. And that's where you see once this has been done, okay, and see what do you call, yeah, so you can start asking these questions, all right, see, and you can test your agent accordingly, and you can just see that what kind of an answer does it provide as such. It is pretty much possible. So for example, let's say, um, hmm, let's say, all right, it's a very generic question, okay. For example, let's say, okay, what is the uh, best time to visit PBUS. So the GPT-4 who starts thinking, I'm just testing it. I'm giving a very very generic or question or BBC. Yeah, and gives you some kind of a response accordingly. This is a very generic question or an input, but many a times when you're working with an organization or maybe an application in your business use case, it needs to be very much specific. It needs to be very much relevant. Am I right? And that's where there are different ways in which you can definitely narrow down your solutions, are helping you achieve that kind of relevancy and the accuracy to move it. So for example, let's say now here you can see you have an instruction, right? See, I can instruction is that way of what defining the possibilities, okay, of what the kind of behavior and the tone that your agent should exhibit. So I can see that you're an AI assistant that helps people find informations and use, say, what do you call uh, motivational words and um, and and say describe say places with what do you call words beautifully, all right, so that in a way you promote, okay, tourism for that place. Okay, a very simple. Let me apply save. Yes. Okay, let me ask that question again and let's see where here this kind of an output was being generated, where there is any difference as such. Okay, let's see what is the best time to visit USA. Same country. See, as the winter fades, looks like some kind of a poet is involved, right? See the words that are being used and definitely the response being constructed. Right? I'm just letting you know, guys, this is where it becomes very, very, very easier to work with. So you can create these kind of instances. So you're regulating the behavior. Just give you an example as such. Okay. There are other things that you can consider. For example, maybe you want to provide examples to your model to learn from, maybe some variables to work with. Maybe you want to add your data. Okay. So for example, you want to add your data, which is from, say, you want to upload your files. Let's see, see, don't have one. Okay, okay. So for example, let's say if I wanted to, what do you call, say, attach my, what do you call, say, my particular service, my particular the expense claim document, I could have added it to a blob storage, all right, and then definitely make my solution to fetch informations accordingly. And then, of course, with the right, what we did earlier in this case, I could have again used the same way of what describing and of course exhibiting or connecting with the data source and providing answers in a very relevant manner. Now, again, there are a few more things that I can consider. Again, here you get to control a lot of things. Okay. So, for example, maybe the data structure, so of the kind of what the model, the data that you bring in, right? Maybe if your data resides in different data sources, even that can be brought in, and you can use these parameters. For example, for context, how much of past data should be used? What is the maximum number of responses that you're looking in? How do you want to control your randomness? How do you want to control with respect to that of maybe say again, top P is very particularly with respect to what working with respect to randomness as such, presence frequency, okay, the presence penalty, the frequency penalty to go with. In all these instances, you are pretty much able to say work with respect to what a way of controlling the way how your agents should be behaving. So what happens is that when you create agents, maybe you want to deploy them, okay, to a web app, okay, or maybe you have a bot, for example, you have used different frameworks, maybe Agentic AI, maybe different kind of frameworks. Maybe you have developed a bot using Visual Studio Code. So your API calls can be made, and this will derive instances accordingly. So this is very interesting way again, all right, where your agents can be created. And definitely I told you, right, again, you can use what you want to create your agents, all right, very particularly using your Azure AI agentic service. Definitely you can get started. So here you can say it's a conglomerate of what all your AI resources here. Okay, so say today's date, you see there are different agents that I've created as such. So I can start working with them, these agents, and I can have it deployed very particularly and still the same thing according. And maybe if I want to create a new agent, all right, definitely say on the basis of my deployment, I can make it available. So testing, working with them, maybe you want to add knowledge sources, a lot of things is very much possible. And depending upon what are the various skills. So for example, you're just not limiting an agent, all right, to work with respect to a particular, what do you call, a specific skill. So for example, you want to integrate other AI services, or maybe even you want to consider some of the templates to get started with. This is going to be really, really helpful for you. Okay, maybe observing, maybe see monitoring, all of that can be definitely be considered as such. Okay, so in a real sense, say as we understand, okay, the kind of again, it can be very simple or it can be something very complex that you're looking at. So that is very much possible with respect to these kind of solutions or maybe these kinds of tools that we're trying to discuss here in this case to go with. So I'm not sure like in which stage of adoption that you stand up on. All right, maybe, but definitely maybe AI Foundry, maybe Copilot Studio, or maybe Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat, or maybe the agent builder there. Definitely, it's going to be really, really be helpful for you to go with. Okay, just wanted to give you an overview on those prospects to go with. Okay, all right. So here I different ways of deploying. It can be in any system, right? Deployment is that way of making your agents available. All right. I hope this is clear what we're trying to talk about. Again, not only in Copilot Studio, maybe your Azure AI Foundry, maybe other tools, VS Code, maybe some advanced Pro Code developer capabilities that you're looking in, some customization, extending your agents. All of that is going to be very much possible. So when I say new skills and so on, so I mean to say that integration of different AI capabilities, generative AI capabilities, and so on. So, and you can make your agents available depending upon where your traction is, because again, you want to have a very successful agent. Am I right? Only when if it is being made available on the right channel, and that's where again you'll have to provision it to the right channel to reap the benefits to go with. So there we come an end to what we promised as a part of today's discussion. Okay, let me give you a quick summary of what we had discussed so far to make you understand, see what we were talking about. So we started off discussing about agents, again, the kind of value, the business proposition, the business value that you would be able to derive, and especially understanding where the future stands for. And that's where, see, how you can use AI agents for autonomous decision-making capabilities coming in, all right? And how you would be able what are the various tools that Microsoft makes it available for you all to go through, or maybe say helping you design, curate, say integrate these kind of intelligent AI solutions. That is these agents, and then of course maybe with the different platforms within your M365 ecosystem, or maybe other possible avenues where you can make these agents to be applied with. And of course, we did see or we did go through with respect to different, say, what do you call real world say scenarios where you saw the kind of benefits that agents can bring in across different departments, across different industries to go with, and finally say, all right, say what do you call the possibilities that you're looking in terms of working with respect to these solutions that continuous learning that you're looking in. Now, as a step further, as a trainer, and again, me as a trainer, as a learner, I should motivate you towards the next step I want you to consider. Okay, that is where I want you to consider some of these Microsoft certifications. All right, um, take things further ahead, and of course, stay updated, uh, relevant in this very rapid world of changes that is happening here. And I must say, it goes without saying, right? We're talking about Microsoft certification. Microsoft has been there in the business for a long while with respect to trust, the kind of validation it brings in. So, yes, as you choose to upskill yourselves, maybe getting yourselves recognized, validated on your skills very particularly with respect to the latest technologies. There are a bunch of certifications that are available with respect to different business roles to go with. And of course, here are some numbers to let you know that the kind of immense value these certifications really bring up on the table to go with. So please consider getting yourselves certified, and here you should be able to download or write this particular ebook which speaks about the kind of value with numbers definitely in terms of stats and so on, so that you can consider for working with respect to the benefits of Microsoft certification to go with. So yes, it comes with a lot of benefits. Like for example, maybe you're looking for some real world use cases, which something that we discussed a bit ago. Maybe with respect to interacting with Microsoft trainers. Here we offer you with a lot of C capabilities or maybe benefits that can be really be beneficial for you as a learner to go with. So we provide you with 180 days of extensive lab access. Okay, you will be provided with say 90 days of recordings for your instructor-led class in case if you choose to collaborate with VNetCom here, and of course with respect to unlimited number of freebies as such. And we have a very exclusive say, customer support team, definitely who's ready to support you on your priority 24/7 to go with. So don't stop. Definitely say consider all right getting yourself certified, again collaborating with Netcom for the kind of support that we cater, having been in this business for a very long decade. Again, upskilling a lot of learners across the globe. And some facts that I wanted to put across with respect to Microsoft certifications is that, again, it's a one-time investment, folks. All right, if you're aware, if you're in, still I should put this across because, again, it's a one-time investment. So if you are appearing for what do you call, say, a fundamental examination, it's going to be lifetime. But in case if you're going to go for an associate level, maybe a role-based course, definitely say you can renew those certification at no cost before 6 months of its expiry. Okay, and then that way you can it's as I told you, it's one day what do you call one-time investment that you're looking in, and automatically definitely getting access to your content and so on so to go with. So please don't get stuck here, move further ahead. All right, and as a trainer, I would motivate you guys to take things further ahead, taking things further ahead, getting yourself certified and trained. And I hope to be meeting you for another session that, again, one of the sessions where it aligns to my portfolios to go with. It's time for some questions. Okay, having been talking for a long while, to embrace some questions, queries, and concerns from the pool of audience that we have in, and let's see if we have any.
Thank you, Gino. That was most informative. I know everyone is looking forward to the Q&A session, so go ahead and start putting your questions into the questions panel. And while you do that, I would like to give the presentation rights over to Sagnik, our vendor manager, to introduce you to our promotions and webinar-related courses.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Hello, everyone. So as you can see on my screen, this is the event handout that you all have received. Once again, we thank you all for taking out the time and joining our masterclass today. As part of this handout, you'd see the content section wherein the different sections within the document have been listed here, and everything is hyperlinked. So you can quickly use these links to jump to the specific section of the document. Before we proceed, it's worth mentioning that Netcom Learning, we are the proud winners of the Microsoft Partner of the Year award for 2 years in a row. So as we say, the legacy continues. In 2022, we were the Partner of the Year worldwide, and in 2023, we were the Partner of the Year for United States. And we are also a Microsoft Cloud Solutions partner. That means that we have capabilities across all the 6 solution areas recognized by Microsoft. A few more things about us. We are in the training industry for over 25 years now, having serviced over 80% of the Fortune 1000 companies, serviced 100 plus US military bases. Overall, we have trained 1 million plus professionals across 36,000 plus unique enterprises, and we enjoy a 96% recommendation rate from our customers. All our trainings on Microsoft are delivered by instructors that are certified and authorized by Microsoft. And our overall instructor pool stands at about 3,200 plus certified professionals. We are your one-stop solution for all your corporate upskilling needs with official training across every major technology and business solution provider. So as we can see over here, we are an authorized training partner for all the industry leaders across Microsoft, AWS, Cisco, Confia, PMI, EC Council, and others. Now, within this handout, you would also find this particular page wherein you can find the session recording. You can use the link to access the recording for today's session and revisit the concepts that were covered in today's masterclass. On this page, you'd find the link to access your complimentary courseware and the digital badges. The same landing page that we covered at the beginning of my presentation. You can find the direct access link here, and the link to which is also available on your chat on GoToWebinar. Also, all the participants will be given access to Netcom 365. It is our student portal that includes a lot of features and resources for you to take advantage of to supercharge your skilling journey. All you need to do if you're accessing it and activating it for the first time is set up your password and then you'd be good to go. We highly recommend everyone to explore our learning portal to take full advantage of all your skilling resources. Now let's quickly take a look at some of the latest offers on Microsoft trainings and certifications. First off, we have the Microsoft Quick Start program, which is applicable across the entire portfolio, encompassing Azure, Security, Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, and Power Platform. It is truly the best in class exclusive enterprise discount offering on your end-to-end Microsoft training across the official portfolio. The pricing model is quite simple and straightforward. If you have a team, if whether you are a large organization or a small organization, and you have a team to train across departments or within the same department, we have two options for you depending on your team size. If you are looking to train more than 15 learners, you would be getting a flat discounted pricing of $300 per day per learner. And of course, as the number of days for the particular training increases, the amount also increases, but you get significant savings on this. If you are having a smaller team that is 14 learners or less, then you still are entitled to a $400 discounted flat pricing per day per learner. This really accounts to huge savings when it comes to large scale training. So we highly recommend everyone to get in touch with us, explore the offering by clicking on the link provided in this handout. And all your trainings can also be customized based on the specific projects and workloads that you and your team, your organization is working on. And our industry specific subject matter expertise encompasses a wide range of verticals, as you can see over here, from banking and financial services, healthcare, federal and state and local government, to education, energy, manufacturing, retail, consumer goods, and more. Also, we have a Netcom Plus subscription available for all the attendees. In case you are looking to have an annual subscription plan, you are comfortable learning at your own pace, a self-paced learning modality in the form of e-learning, this is the ultimate solution for your requirements, right? So you get access to 600 plus courses and 40 AI exam certifications, all at a price of only $399 per learner annually, right? So for only less than the price of a single seat, right, of a course, you get an year-long subscription model You get an year-long access to 600 plus courses, 40 AI exam certifications, and all our trainings are recorded and they are you'd be getting the expert guidance through these e-learning modules from industry leaders who are designed to upskill professionals across all industries. So click on this link on your handout to learn more about our Netcom Plus subscription. Now, we'd like to also quickly go over some facts about Microsoft certifications. Role-based and specialty certifications tend to expire within 1 year, right? You need to maintain, in order to maintain your certification from Microsoft, you need to renew them before they expire. And the renewal process from Microsoft is really simple and easy, and it is cost effective because it's free of cost. You don't have to pay any additional fees to continue maintaining your certification, right? So please make sure to go through this insightful ebook, The Win-Win of Certification. So in case you're planning to get officially Microsoft certified on one of these role-based certifications, this is a great resource for you to know inside out about all the perks that these have to offer. Also, in case you have a team and before you commit to maybe a quick start program for training your team extensively, maybe you want to go for a test drive, right? You want to understand how it adds value to your team, whether it's the right solution for you, whether training is making business sense for your team. We have an ideal solution for you to assess that precisely, right? So for our enterprise customers with teams of 10 or more members, we have the 2 hour private group training demo as a solution, which is also customizable. So our SMEs are going to connect with you, understand what your requirements are. They're going to prepare a targeted skilling plan, and then we are going to customize a 2 hour training for your team as a demo for a more extensive training engagement in case you see the value out of it. And all of these training sessions are delivered from our top Microsoft certified trainers. So this is a great tool. Please make sure to leverage it in case you are planning to explore more training opportunities. And last but not the least, we also have a learning passport, which is our go-to tool for year-long end-to-end enterprise training requirements. It is the ultimate flexible team training package. Irrespective of where your team members are located, irrespective of which modality you need to train your team on, or on which technology or vendor you need to train your team on, the Learning Passport is the ultimate solution. You get access to 4,000 plus official courses. You get flexible fund validity of 12 months. So whatever you invest as part of your Learning a Passport account fund, we we almost doubled it, right? In case, depending on the amount that you are investing, Netcom Learning also pitches in, contributes to grow your overall fund value so you can train your team to the maximum possible amount that your funds allow you to do. So this is a great tool. Please make sure to explore it in case this is something that you are planning to deploy and you're planning to train your team on AI, Copilot, or any other solution. Also on this deck, you will find some Microsoft recommended courses related to today's topic, as well as a couple of free resources which are mapped here. We highly encourage you to explore these post the session and get in touch with us in case you have any specific skilling requirements. We would love to help you in your skilling journey. With that, please make sure to follow us for the latest updates on IT and business training through our social handles across LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And with that, we are done for the session. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Thanks so much for guiding us through that information, Sagnik. And now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our question and answer session. In industries like healthcare or finance, how do agents handle sensitive data while still being useful?
Okay, so I must say this again, considering the kind of domain that you spoke about. Okay, whether it is healthcare or finance, definitely say these agents operate within secure environments. Okay, with confidential computing, there are encrypted data channels coming in, and there are ways in which you can say anonymize your sensitive information before even processing it. There are some compliance features, okay, which again aligns to the regulatory standards like HIPAA and so on, so to go with. So be rest assured, definitely say considering that you're dealing with sensitive data, and definitely privacy and security is well taken into regard when we talk about these kind of solutions. Definitely your sensitive data gets handled very confidentially on that. Yes.
What happens if an agent makes a mistake or gives incorrect information? How is accountability handled?
See, for any AI solution, explainability is a very important feature. Okay, when we talk about responsible AI, it's a very important, say, pillar to be addressed with. So whenever we're working with agents, they are designed with respect to audit trails. So there are tools, okay, that will allow logging of agent decisions, user interactions that are available. And in case if an error occurs, definitely maybe developers would be able to trace the logic, update the agent's behavior. All right, and definitely say it's not completely reliant on the agent itself. Definitely there is human going to be involved, so there will be an oversight from the human side who will be a part of this loop, who will be responsible for the key critical task that has been executed. So that way you can perform these kind of audit trails and so, making your features available, ensuring that these solutions behave as expected, meeting to the goals and goals that for which they have been created with.
Can agents be used to personalize employee onboarding experiences in large organizations?
Of course, we did discuss on that, right? Say anything, any task that you identify with. So whether you are going to guide your new employees through onboarding steps, maybe with respect to some kind of answering some questions, or maybe you want to train train your team members, maybe scheduling sessions accordingly, or maybe again making them available with some kind of relevant resources. So you can definitely be doing that. And since we're talking about the organization, the tenant definitely you can have it integrated, make it available on a channel like maybe Teams and so, where you can create or you can provide them with a very personalized journey, and that way maybe very much say reducing the workload that an HR has to face when it comes to bringing in new talents onto the pool as such. So definitely agents can be really be beneficial in terms of streamlining those processes to go with.
Once again, I want to remind you that as you leave this session today, you will be presented with a short survey. We would like to request for you to help us by taking a quick moment to participate in that survey. Your feedback really helps us understand your learning experience as we are constantly looking at how we can improve our future sessions. The survey answers are measured on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 representing outstanding and 1 representing poor. We want to thank all of you for joining us today, and if you do come up with any additional questions, feel free to send them to webinar@netcomlearning.com at any time. We hope that you found today's webinar informative, and we look forward to seeing you back here with us soon. Feel free to tell your friends and colleagues about our webinars and other courses. Have a great day, everyone.